have a really special guest to introduce you guys to in this episode. Her name is Amanda Weil. She is a soul stylist. And we're talking about how to manifest by dressing as your future self and so much more. So if you are someone, and if you're listening to this, I know you are, someone who has big goals, big dreams that you're actively working on, paying attention to your personal style is one of the keys to manifesting what you want faster. And we go into so much in this episode. You guys, I can't wait for you to hear from Amanda. She is also her focus is really about joy and empowerment, and she helps you bring that out through your clothing. She has stories about clients who have quickly manifested things simply by connecting with their authentic style. It's not about following trends. It's not about, trying to dress a certain way to become something. It's about really tapping into your soul and discovering who you are. And when you bring that in, when you get in contact with or in touch with your future self and pull that into the now moment and you start to express that through your clothes, so much can happen. So I can't wait for you to hear all of the nuggets she drops. We talk about challenges with style. We talk about tips to get started. Even if you're on a budget, maybe you're like, but I'm not there yet. I don't have the budget I'll have in the future. She's giving so many golden nuggets to get you started. And I know you're going to absolutely love this episode. You're going to absolutely love hearing from Amanda. So without further ado, I want to jump right in. Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of the Live Your Yes Life podcast. We're going to be covering channeled thoughts, discussion, and interviews all along the way on what it takes to go from dreaming and wishing to actively living your yes life. Let's meet Amanda. Hey, everybody. I am here with Amanda Weil. I am so excited for this episode. As I said in the intro, she is incredible. You guys are just going to love every minute of this episode. Before we get started, Amanda, will you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Lisa. And I'm so excited to be here. It's such an honor. And yes, I call myself a soul stylist. And what I mean by that is I work with my clients, both men and women, to first help guide them within, to get really clear on their inner essence. What is that abundant, prosperous, magnetic, beautiful self that they have within? And then how can we work together to create a style that really pulls that forward so that the inner and the outer are matching? And it's from that place of true authenticity that confidence appears and that they just become magnetic for all the things that they truly desire in their life. So it's part style, and it's mostly like the inner transformation and confidence to really show that up, show who you are through your style.
I'm obsessed with this. So it's like, she's like part stylist, part personal empowerment guide.
Yes.
Right? It's like, it's like a 2-in-1, which is so amazing. Will you tell us, how did you discover your passion for styling and personal empowerment? How did you get down this road?
Yeah, it's so interesting. I've always loved style. I've always loved clothes. I was the one playing with the Barbies, dressing them all the time. I was always out shopping with my parents. Both my parents are super stylish. And I always just loved it. And I thought that's the path I wanted to go into till my mom let me know that it's kind of hard. It's please just go get a corporate job, right? So I thought that's what I should go the corporate route. Yet there was something in me that I just still loved clothes, and I can just look at pieces and just say, oh, we'll wear that with that, and then throw on this jewelry and it's going to look great. And people are like, what? I'm like, just put it on. And I always thought that everyone had that gift. I thought people loved shopping. I thought people just knew what to put on. And it's when I started doing some personal development and leadership courses, when I started what I call my spiritual transformation about 10 years ago, is when I started to dig a little bit deeper into this and realized that this is what I truly wanted to do. I truly wanted to style and help people look really good and feel really good. And I realized that I had a lot of stories buried deep about why I couldn't be a stylist. And I had to work through those and realize that style and how you show up is so much deeper than just the brand names, the labels, the what's on trend. And as I continue to peel back my own layers and get really clear on who I am and what I want, and I started to have full confidence in myself, that's when I realized, okay, I can put these two together and create something really magical that no one in the space is doing yet. And that's when I realized, okay, now there's something here. Like now I can jump in and really bring this to fruition.
Oh, and I think you do it so well too. And I you're right. Like this is a missing piece, right? In the industry, it's like, it's not just about, are you wearing the latest trends? It's about, are you representing who you truly are on the inside, right? Like being your full self.
Yeah, because a lot of people do chase the trends and then they still don't, like, you can just tell when someone walks into a room if they're comfortable and confident in who they are. You feel it in their energy, you see it in their expression, you see the way they're like maybe tugging on their clothes. So if you just put someone in something that's super on trend, that's not going to help them walk into a room confidently. It's about getting clear on like, well, who are you really? What lights you up? What colors feel really good? What compliments you? What silhouettes make you feel good? What's your vision for life? And how do you start dressing now for that person? So it's just so much deeper when you put that intentionality into it versus just ordering what someone on TikTok says is cool.
Yes, that is so true. So let's talk about this concept of dressing for your future self. And I love this. I know we've had a few conversations like this in the past, and I think this is something that is so powerful, is this idea of dressing now as the future you. So what does it mean to dress like your future self? And then why is it important?
Yes, I love this. It's important because, I feel like a lot of people will maybe visualize on the life they want and kind of think about it, and they kind of live in that dream state of, oh, well, when that happens, then I can, buy the outfit, I can change up my wardrobe, I'll change up my hair, like when that happens. And they just keep pushing it out. It's like you're living in that dream state, yet when you actually then take the aligned action, that's when things start to materialize. So I always have my clients get really clear on the vision that they're stepping into. What do the next 3 months look like? What do the next 3 years look like? What do you truly want to call in your life? And then let's get you in that soul space as if it's already happened, as if it's already here, as if you're already that person. And when it is here, when it's come to fruition, how do you want to show up? Like how do you get to start showing up now as if it's already here? And I feel like that's what really locks it in, because you have the faith that it's coming, it's coming. So why not act the part now? Like the universe is not going to deliver it to you if you don't expect for it to happen. And so I think that's the missing piece. And I think that's why a lot of my clients have such fast transformations. I mean, the transformations that they're experiencing in 4 months are crazy. And I think it's because they are doing both. We're doing both the inner and the outer work. So there's just that bam, like that alignment. And so that's why I think it's so important. Like, no, I always say, don't do the if-then game. Like, no if-then game. It's just when it's going to happen. So what if it happens tomorrow? You got to be ready.
I think this is why I resonate with your work so much, because it's what we always say. It's like, it's not when I get there, then I'll be confident. Then I'll, have style. Then I'll have love, or, any of the things that we insert, right? When I get there, then. It's actually when you become that now, when you embody that now. And you're teaching the same thing. And you're also saying, like, in order to embody it, you've got to dress like it. Like, you get to put those clothes on and feel amazing now.
Full embodiment, because it also does something. Like when you put them on, there's an energy in clothes. I mean, you know this, like clothes, like what they're made of, the colors, who was working on them, how they make you feel. There's energy in everything. And so when you're putting on those pieces on your body that get you into that state, it's like they become a physical vision board for what you're creating. And they get you into that state of, oh yeah, I'm the CEO of my business. And, I have a 6-figure goal this year, right? So yes, I am that person now. It puts you in that state. It just shifts you. You become an energetic match for it. You just shift your energy.
Now, I know we're going to get this question, so I want to ask it. So what if someone says, like, oh, I know exactly my future self and how she dresses, but I can't, like, the money's not in the budget right now to dress like that in the present. What do you say to that?
Yeah, totally get that. And that's where you get to pick maybe one piece that makes you feel that way. Like, get clear on one key piece that's going to help you feel like that person. Is it a new blazer? Is it a new pair of shoes? What is it that really calls that forth for you? And then you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive pair. Like, you can honestly find great things at Target or Resale. There's so many amazing vintage resale shops where you can go and score really great items that have been pre-loved. Some of them still have tags on, and you get them for a really amazing price point. So just investing in one thing is really enough to get you going there. And if that's really, really, really not in the budget, then still get clear on your future self, your future style. Maybe create a fun mood board. I always create fun mood boards on Pinterest or tear things out of a magazine. And then just go into your closet and see if you have anything that you can mix and match in a way that matches one of the photos that feels like your future self. Because you might just need to,
such a good idea.
right? You might just need to step back into your closet and mix something a little bit differently. Because I think that a lot of people get so stuck in, oh, I have to wear this with this and this. And so it's an opportunity to go in and play and mix and match a little bit differently and see if that helps you feel like your future self.
Yeah, I feel like I'm having a big aha around this right now because we just did like a redesign of our living room. We did our kitchen, we just did our living room. And what I did is I took down some pieces that I had on my wall and I put them in different places in my house. And it was like a completely different piece. I never thought of it before, right? I needed to literally take everything off the walls and then go like, wait, if I just put that there or in this room over here, it's like completely different. So why wouldn't we do the same thing with our closet and just like mix and match a little differently?
Exactly. And you might also just need like a little detox of your closet. You might just need to free up some space. The pieces that really don't match with where you're going. That's how I step into someone's closet. It's not just about, does it fit? Is it stained? Obviously that's important, yet it's more about, when you put this piece on, is that taking you to where you see yourself? Because if it's not, it needs to go, because energetically that's stagnant energy that's holding you back. And a lot of times when you make that space in your closet, even if you don't necessarily have the means to replace it, just trust that the means always appear. Because, and I know you get this, like you have to make space for what's meant to come in. And it's the same in your closet. And I've seen that happen time and time again, where it's also letting go of a scarcity mindset of, no, I have to hold on to that because I don't have the money to buy new. That's total scarcity mindset. So in releasing that, you're like, all right, I trust I'm giving this to someone else. Someone's going to really benefit. And I trust that new energy, new pieces, new money is going to come to me.
Absolutely. Oh, I love this. Yes. Bless and release. Get that stuff out of your closet. Let somebody else who it is their version of themselves enjoy it. And then once you've made that space, like the way forward gets to come in.
Always. It always does.
Okay, so your core values are invoking inner confidence and joy. And when I read that, the bio you sent over, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. Can you tell me, like, how do you weave this into your approach to styling to help invoke that inner confidence and joy for people?
I love that question. So at the end of the day, I feel like everyone has that within. Everyone has confidence. Everyone has joy. It's just gotten a little bit cloudy. You know, whether it's like society, whether it's something that's happening in your life, whether it's just getting bogged down in the day-to-day. And so a lot of the work I do, it's so funny, before I even jump in someone's closet, before we even go shopping, before we even create outfits, so much of the work I do is that inner, kind of like inner deep dive to really help wake all of that back up within them. People are always like, are you a psychologist? I'm like, no, but you know, we're going to go there. So it's allowing people to kind of reclaim who they are and remember who they are. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with anyone. It's just sometimes we have habits that maybe aren't serving us. We have thoughts that aren't serving us. So it's also about removing a lot of those limiting beliefs and those stories and those thoughts that people have about themselves. Just helping them remember, like, what's truly important in your life. Like, let's get you back there.
And I feel like approaching it through your clothes, it's like another way to create another opening too, because I work with a lot of women who, you know, whether they're in midlife or whether they're facing a transition, it's a powerful and an empowering time. Like, I love it because, you know, there's something that happens, let's just say moms, for example, once the kids are, you know, not requiring so much of their time, maybe they're in high school, maybe they're off to college, they start to have this awakening happen within them of like a remembering of like, wait, who am I now, right? Not even just who was I, but just who am I now with all this life experience? And, you know, sometimes people can struggle with that question. And I love the approach of, so if you're listening to this and you've been kind of questioning that, this is a powerful approach. It's like, start looking at it from the lens of how you want to dress, how you want to feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that because I find that so many women, especially, will hide in their clothes or not think that it's important or, oh, it's frivolous. And it's really not. It's truly an extension of your soul, it's an extension of who you really are. And I always say we're always teaching people how to treat us based on how we treat ourselves. So if you're giving yourself the time to actually put something on that makes you feel good, people's attitudes towards you are going to change because you're seeing yourself different, and you honestly get treated different. Like it's multiple times I've had clients say to me, "Wow, when I go out and I'm dressed nicer, people are friendly to me. They open the doors. They like comp my valet." And I'm like, it happens because you're just showing up in a certain way. And so it's not selfish. It's like you're putting better energy out in the world too when you feel really good about yourself.
Oh, I totally agree. I think we've all had that, right? Where it's like we're dressed in a way that we feel really confident and good. And it's like our shoulders are back and we're standing tall and we're walking into a room and holding the energy. And it does truly make a difference when you're wanting to manifest or feel good about really any aspect of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted, yeah, I'd love to change gears sort of just for a second and talk about, some of the challenges that people face when they're trying to change their style. You and I talked about this maybe last summer of where I was just like, I am definitely feeling a change. Like I'm feeling like what used to represent me, like I have grown and changed so much. It doesn't feel like my old stuff is me anymore, right? So to walk through a change, but that time in between is really challenging. So, what would you say are some of the most common challenges that people face when they're ready to transform their style? And maybe they're like I was, where it's just like, yeah, I this isn't really me, but I don't know what is.
Yeah, there's that. And then I think with a lot of women as well, it's if they feel like they've gained weight,
Mm-hmm.
then they feel like they don't deserve to invest in pieces until they lose the weight. So again, they're doing like the if then game. I think at the core of it, I mean, I hear a lot of, and I'm calling them excuses because they're totally excuses. I hear a lot of excuses from people as to why they can't now or why it's not the right time. And I think what it really comes down to is a worthiness conversation of feeling like I do deserve to invest in my clothes. It actually is important. I do deserve to show up in my highest. And so I think for people who are kind of in that between place of like, oh, I don't like what I have now and I'm not really sure what to wear, that's where you get to start noticing. Like awareness is key. Awareness is always step one. So just start noticing other people's style. Start noticing the TV shows that you're watching. Are there certain characters that you really like something that they're wearing? Are there certain colors that are really calling to you right now? And then just start to like keep a record. And if you need to tear out magazine, like from magazines, if you need to snap photos, when you start to get really aware and you start to notice more, you're going to be able to start to curate what your style is. So that's so when you kind of feel like you're in that between stage, then just allow yourself to be aware and to start opening up your mindset to how you do want to dress.
Yes, I think that is so key because I think when we're not feeling, if you're not feeling worthy, or like you said, if you've gained weight, I've definitely had that experience. It's like maybe you kind of even stop looking around or noticing what you feel is beautiful. And when you connect back to that worthiness, it's like, wait a minute, of course I'm worthy of feeling good in this body right now. And I think sometimes that's the fastest way to make changes, right? Is when we're loving on who we are today.
Yes, that's what I always say. And when I hear that from a client, if they're like, well, I've gained weight, I need to lose the weight first. I'm like, look, for any client that has stepped in with me who feels that way, I promise it happens faster because you do love who you are. You learn to show up in a really beautiful, positive way. And you're okay with your body right now. And then I also think that a lot of like weight that we're holding on to is emotions. So you allow yourself to like let that go and just be okay with how you are now. And then boom, like your body starts to change.
Yes. So good. So good. So I'm curious if you have any just top of mind stories of, where someone shifted their style or the choices they're making and they're like, it really affected their ability to manifest faster, like you notice timelines collapsing, or maybe it happened for you. Can you share a little bit?
I feel like it always happens for me. There's always a huge purge and then reshaping of my style. And I mean, when I did that 2 years ago, I did a huge purge. I moved. I totally started shifting my style, and I had my first 6-figure year. So it's like, that was big. I would say for a client though, yeah, one that comes to mind, and I always love to share her story because she came to me because she was going to these networking events. She asks people to invest with her for real estate. So like in like apartment buildings, condos, like multi-unit. And so she's asking people for a good chunk of change. And so she was going to these networking events and was in a room with millionaires and felt like, she's like, how could I be asking these people to invest with me the way that I'm showing up? Like, she thought she was showing up okay, but then she'd get into the space and be like, whoa, I'm out of my league. And someone even said to her, why would I invest in you when you look like that? And she was like, okay, I need a stylist. So we totally transformed her style. A lot was released in the closet purge, a lot of like the scarcity mindset. We got kind of deep on some stories and some childhood stuff. And we started to revamp her style. And her goal was just to walk into these networking events and feel like she fit. I kid you not, the next networking event she went to, she was actually invited to go present on stage. Like, it happened that fast, where instead of just being in the room with these people, she was on stage. And after that, literally every networking event, she was on stage. She is now working with billionaires. And
amazing.
Like, has like quadrupled her net worth.
Yeah.
And that all happened within less than a year. Like, that happened so fast. I mean, she was speaking on stages literally within like 2 months of us working together, but just working with billionaires. I mean, it's just wild stories like that.
Mm-hmm. It's energy, right? It totally makes sense to me because everything is energy. And so when you shift your style, you shift your energy automatically, and that energy then attracts what you are a match for. And so I feel like all of us are just going to be running to our closets right now to just be like, okay, gotta like clean out some stuff and bring in what feels like me.
Yes. Yeah, it's really important. And it is energy. And it's just like, again, it's like assuming your throne, just assuming that it's already here, because that's the key to manifesting, is like believing that it's already here. And then of course, taking the aligned action. We don't just sit back on the couch, but like taking the aligned action, yet it allows you to just relax a little bit and be like, well, I'm taking the steps. It doesn't matter how it comes to fruition. It will. So I'm just going to act like it now.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. Okay, so I know I've taken up a lot of your time, but before we go, you've been dropping so much wisdom and so many tips. I hope you guys are taking notes, listening. There's a couple things I want to just end with. So one is, if you have any other just like quick tips you haven't shared yet for someone who wants to get started. So somebody's like, okay, Amanda, I hear you. You just lit a fire under me. What would you say is like maybe your top 3 tips for just getting started?
Number 1 is always get clear on your style vision. So it's like, I won't work with a client until we get clear on their style vision, no matter what we're doing. So give yourself a little bit of time to sit and journal on what are the top 3 things that you want to accomplish in the next, 3 months, year, 3 years. Like, really get clear on where you see yourself. I always love to take everyone through a little visualization to get really clear on where you are, like what you want to create in your life, and then allow yourself to get in the feeling as if it's already here. So when that happens, when that comes to fruition, close your eyes and think about what you're wearing. Think about what you're wearing to a celebration event. Just allow yourself to be in that space, like the fast forward space. And so that's how you start to craft your style vision. And then from there, as I was sharing, like awareness, start to notice different like outfits that you like, different pieces of clothing that you might like, different colors that you like, and just start to keep a journal of that, or create a board on Pinterest and start to like map out your style. Because the worst thing to do is just to walk into a store without any intention, because that's when it can feel very, very overwhelming. So like, get clear on the style vision and how you want to start showing up and what feels really good to you. And then go into your closet first and just see if you have any pieces that align with this, and if there's anything that you can pull together to create a look like that. That would be like my key. That's like always start there before you even go into a store.
If anyone wants to get in touch with you, if they want to follow you, where are you hanging out these days? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, well, so my website is easy. It's Amanda Weil, Weil, style. And there's actually a really fun quiz on there, the color confidence quiz. So I dive deeper into, when I look at color for people, it's not just about their skin tone, it's more about the energy and the chakras of what colors would really support them right now and support their energetic being. And so there's a really fun quiz on the website that will let you know what color would be really great for you right now to enhance your confidence. So that's always really fun. And then that puts you on my email list where I'm sending out, weekly just newsletters, emails, tips. Instagram, I'm all over Instagram, Amanda Weil Style as well, or Facebook, the same, Amanda Weil. Those are the key places really to find me and follow me. I'm on YouTube as well.
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. Go and check out Amanda. I have one more thing for you all. Amanda is going to be joining me inside of the Live Your Yes Life Facebook group for a Q&A. So if you've listened to this episode, let's see, we're going to go live on February 2nd, right, Amanda?
Yes.
Yes, February 2nd. And if you are listening to this episode and you are not yet in the Live Your Yes Life Facebook group, please join the group. You can search it on Facebook, or I will drop a link below as well. So it's called Live Your Yes Life for Heart-Centered Leaders. And Amanda's going to join me. We're going to do a Q&A. So you can drop your questions in the group for me. You can send me or Amanda your questions. And we're going to go deeper on the subject. We'll answer whatever questions are coming up for you guys. We'll speak a little bit deeper on some of the things. I know for me, I feel like we have to have you come back and talk about the whole color and the chakras. And I'm like, oh, I'm so curious. I want to know more about that. So that'll have to be a whole nother episode, you guys. But definitely come and join us in the Facebook group. Come join the Q&A. We have a lot happening. And we do, I know we've been mentioning this, you guys, but we do have a free podcast series that you get when you join the group called All About How to Really Live Your Version of a Yes Life and what that means. So, all right, Amanda, thank you so much. This was such a pleasure to just be in your energy and hang out. I can't wait to see you on the 2nd. And any final words that you have for the listeners today?
Yeah, I think I would just say, remember that it's a journey as well. On this style journey, it's not just about going and revamping your whole wardrobe overnight, because remember, this is a deeper dive into you and who you truly are and what you truly want in your life. So it's going to take a little bit of time. So give yourself space, give yourself grace, and just know that it is a journey, because as you're deciding what you do what feels good on you, I promise that there's some inner magic that's happening as well. And that's going to allow you to take your life to the next level too. So just remember that. Grace. Give yourself grace.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you.